Thank you. Now, today I want us to think about the sources of information for targeting, for setting individual targets. Now, whenever you're faced with this challenge of setting up individual targets for yourself or in your department, then there are source documents that you have to consider if you have to make a smart decision and if you have to make a smart objective. Now, these are some of the um, um, source documents that I consider necessary. The first one for me is a strategic plan. Remember, strategic plan is a 5-year document. So within the 5-year strategic plan or strategic goals that you have, what are these key result areas that you can focus in and set up a smart objective? The second source document is the departmental annual plan. Your head of department has a plan for the year. So whenever the head of department sets a plan, he or she expects that members of that department will agree with the set goals that the department has set so that they can assist in the department achieving its annual plans. Then the other one is the performance contract. Every year we have got PC targets. So as an individual, a trainer, you could look for what the PC said and what is your contribution towards the achievement of those specific yearly PC targets that we set. And remember that these are targets that are usually discussed by the highest organ of an organization, either it is the council or the BOG, and it is expected that the members or the team players will be implementers of those specific targets. Then another source document that I consider is your role as a person and linking yourself with other departments. So what are these cross-departmental collaborations? You are in a certain department, but there are skills that you have that may be required in another department. So those are targets you can set. You can set up targets. You could be in a department that you're setting up targets for research and development, for example, or you are in a specific department, but you're setting up targets for co-curricular activities, or you're setting up a target for marketing, in the registrar's office. So these are the interconnections that I think a good and a smart individual target has to look at. Then the fifth that I consider extremely important is your personal growth. At the end of the day, what is it that is there for you? You know, are you just working for the sake of working, or you've got a personal vision for growth? So you have to set some goals that are aiming at developing you as a person. So when you write that book, you write that article, you attend that workshop, you contribute into a book chapter, you come up with an innovation, bring money into the institution, write a funding proposal. All these things, although sometimes they may appear as though they are assisting the institution, but ultimately the greatest beneficiary is the person who is doing that work. Then there could be other sources of information that you have to look for when you're setting up individual targets. There are ministry policy directions. The State Department, for example, may have some new idea. For example, now we have moved towards the issues of CBET training and the need for competency-based training. So do we, or can you set up a target towards that, because that is what is current? The issues of marketing, we are insisting on, say, achieving some certain number of enrollment. So can you set this as a target as a trainer in your course, in your department, and obviously for the entire institution? So these are things that you look at and you can say, yeah, I can give a contribution towards this. And then lastly, what I also consider necessary, the many institutional policy documents that we have in our institutions. that include, for example, the academic policy, the income generating activity policy, the research and development policy, the student rules, the HR policy, the finance policy, and many other policies. These are sources of documents, where when you are setting up a smart individual target that you have to think about and consider, because once you have done that, then it means that the institution will be receiving its its expected outcomes, and that becomes very well. So thank you, and I hope that makes some sense. I hope it makes some sense.